After the ball is over, after this game is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Pen, Hook, and Needles Podcast, episode 197. Wow, 3 from 200. 197.
Been doing it a long time.
Yes.
I've been doing about 5 to 10 episodes longer than you have.
7.
Oh, okay.
I know exactly the one I came in on. It was 7. So you did 6 without me.
But when were you officially?
8.
Did it really take?
Yes. You said you ain't never leaving. Okay, I'm sorry. Welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles Podcast, episode 197, and the PHN Foon Woman Cave. I am Marlisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
And I am Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
Right. We want to welcome all new and returning viewers. We appreciate you taking some time out of your busy day to spend some time with us. If you are returning, thank you for returning. If you're new, thank you for checking us out. If you're still in the shadows, please feel free to become official and join the Ravelry group so you can be eligible for prizes.
And if you're not watching us, why aren't you?
I didn't say it, she did. If you're a member of the group officially, you can be eligible for prizes and giveaways and things like that. We'd love for that to happen for everybody who watches or listens to us. So please do join the Ravelry group. Let me see here. We have some new members. Oh, do you want to do what we're drinking first?
Yes.
Okay.
I got contacted via email by Andy of Plum Deluxe Tea. One of our members, I guess, subscribes to his tea club.
And we don't know who it is.
Yeah, we don't know who it is. It is a secret member. They buy tea from him. And it makes me think of, if you ever talk to Karen if you ever listen to Karen talk about, from
Round the Twist.
Round the Twist, talk about her San Marco coffee, the setup makes me really think of San Marco coffee setup.
But for tea.
But for tea. So he sent us some free samples to try. Mom wanted to try the chocolate mint
Dessert tea.
That
was a limited edition, and it's what's in my mug right now. I have a little bit of milk and a little bit of sugar in it, because it does need a little sugar for me, and I love it. I probably should have steeped it. I said 3 to 5 minutes, and I steeped it for about 3.5. I should have gone the full 5. But you can taste the peppermint in it and the chocolate. And I wish you had smell-o-vision, because this stuff smells even through the package. In fact, this one smelled even opening the envelope that it came in.
And I have Reedy Nook Blend Black Tea. It's got black tea, rosebuds, lavender, chamomile, love, gratitude, and natural flavor.
And see, mine's an all-organic Rubio's tea, ginger, cardamom, dark chocolate bits, cocoa nibs, peppermint, natural flavors, essence, love, gratitude. No caffeine.
Mine has caffeine.
And you can find these teas. It's a very well set up site.
It is.
It's plumdeluxe.com. Just like the fruit, Plum Deluxe, all one word, .com, and we'll put that in the show notes. But it's very, very good.
Mine has pretty flowers in it.
And mine has chocolate bits in it, dark chocolate bits.
And it'll tell you how long to steep it and how much to steep. If you want it for a larger cup, on the website it says how much to do for 16 ounces.
For 16 ounces. This says 1 teaspoon in boiling water for a cup. And the way you figure it out, I think, is probably 10 ounces, because for 16 ounces it's 1.5 on the site. But it smells so good and it tastes so good. So we are really appreciative of the person who spoke to the people who do this, and we're very grateful that he gave us a chance to try it, and we're more than happy to tell you about it, because it really is very good.
It tastes very good right now. I'm looking forward when I'm a little congested, because I just woke up. I'm always congested when I wake up. But
Look at this. There's a dark chocolate chip in here. You can't really see it. It's not. There it is. See it by my finger.
And when he asked what tea we wanted to try, he had just mixed a batch of this chocolate one.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we were gonna go. Originally, I wanted to go with this one, and then Mom said she wanted the chocolate. I'm like, oh, we can go with what Mom wants.
I didn't know.
He sent us both.
He sent us both, which was very, very nice.
Very generous.
We didn't expect that. What does yours say underneath the title?
Reading Nook Blend Black Tea, a blend of joy, pairs with creativity, reading and writing, conversation, relaxing.
Perfect.
This is our tea for sure.
And mine says refreshingly delicious without the calories.
This was his suggestion because he's like, oh, crafting.
Yeah.
I would suggest Reader's Nook Blend Tea.
And I will try that later, just like she'll probably try this one. But this was a limited edition. I wanted to make sure we got it before it went away.
Did you want to taste?
Now,
mine has been steeped for 5 minutes, and it's a little bit more than what is suggested.
Oh, that's good. That is really
I know
good.
I'm missing out a little bit on the taste because I'm a little congested.
That's really good. You want to take this one's got a little milk in it, and it's very, very weak because I didn't do the full steep.
I probably won't be able to taste it very well then because I'm always
That
congested.
is fantastic.
That is good, actually. Even
congested.
Even congested, and with that being weak, that's good.
So, if you're in the market for trying some new tea, it is well worth a try. It's Plum Deluxe.
I'm going to probably go through and try most of their teas.
PlumDeluxe.com. Talia, make sure you put it in the show notes.
Could you write a note? Andy is very easy to work with, and I love their site is beautiful.
I had to laugh because when he wrote to Talia, he said Talia and Mom.
Yes.
It made me happy.
Let's see. And
enjoy the treats.
Enjoy the treats is what it says in the back, and it says handcrafted tea infused with love. Every Plum Deluxe tea is thoughtfully crafted in Oregon, with only refreshing ingredients from around the world. Join our Tea of the Month Club and enjoy a delicious limited edition artisan tea every month for only $10 a month. They have a bunch of things in the Tea of the Month.
Yeah.
Personally, I will probably just go through and be like, what tea do I feel like today? Kind of like Karen does with her coffee.
Yeah.
And be like, that's tea.
So
because I need more tea in my ginormous tea shelf.
Yes. Mine is falling all over the place.
Mine is too.
So thank you very much for sharing that with us,
yes,
Andy, and thank you to the anonymous member who suggested it. That was fun, and we're happy about that.
I'm always looking for new teas.
Okay, now new members that officially joined in the group. We have Jules G370, who is Julie. Welcome, Julie. D-Fly B, who is Brittany. The Brittany who is not B-Wing joined us. Yay!
The non-B-Wing Brittany.
Yes, and she's got a podcast called Sip and Stitch, and she's very good. You should watch her if you get the chance.
Oh, I like this lady's name.
Oh yeah, Bluebird Sings 1. That's Cherry, and we're welcome Cherry, and Nurse with the Lamp, which I really like, and that is Joanne. Welcome,
I think
Joanne.
there's a famous painting with a nurse with.
Probably. Nitty Sue, who is Sue. I was going to say who's Nitty.
She could be that too.
Sue. Welcome, Sue. Rita Denise, who is Rita. And I love this name. Unravelin' Elephant, who is Courtney. Welcome, Courtney. So welcome everybody who joined officially.
I see this little elephant being unraveled.
Oh, I just see an elephant busily with his needles. Tink, 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 tink.
Oh,
tink,
you
tink,
see,
tink.
I see a toy elephant, and he's being unraveled starting from the back, starting from his tail.
He's not an unraveled elephant. He's an unravelin' elephant.
I see an unraveling elephant.
Yeah,
Unraveled elephant.
Yeah. But anyway, so it's cute.
You see, the action. You're unraveling an elephant.
He's unraveling.
But there's no ing in there. Unravel.
But there's no D
an
either.
Elephant. Unravel an elephant. It's a verb.
Yeah. Well, maybe. I still don't see that.
You're unraveling him from his tail.
I understand. Poor little elephant.
I know, and he's looking around like, why?
Okay, so we want to thank all of you for joining us officially. We're glad to have you with us.
That way.
No, I haven't either. Usually has a U in there, so it was really interesting. So thank you for joining us officially, and if you're still in the shadows, please do consider coming in officially so we can have you join them for the prizes and everything.
I'm using my Oops, It's a Bunny mug.
I'm using my St. Paul because I just pulled it out, and I need St. Paul today. Did you want to do baby hats ahead of time, or do I go right to promotion?
I actually don't have anything for baby
Okay.
hats. I know that several people have expressed interest in sending baby hats,
So
and we
they'll
appreciate everyone who sends baby hats. Actually, at any point now, maybe on Monday, I'll send you baby hats.
We'll see. I don't know if they're open on Monday.
Well, in the past, they've been open when you've dropped it when you've been around for Adoration.
Right, but was it a Friday or a Monday that I dropped it off?
I think it was a Monday because their hours are weird.
Yeah, they are weird. I have to check on the site. Okay. Excuse me. Promotions. First of all, I wanted to mention that, once again, now that I've kind of beat a dead horse, but I do want to keep promoting this because it's fun. The knitting games have started over at...
Are you calling the knitting games a dead horse?
No, I'm calling me...
Is there a dead horse called the knitting games?
I don't know. Anyway, Spicy Homemaker and Sip and Stitch.
I think you went too far.
No, it's just right here. D Fly B, Sip and Stitch podcast. D Fly B, Brittany. Melissa and Brittany are doing the knitting games, and I believe it started the very 1st of March, so they are in full swing. If you are interested, it sounds like a lot of fun.
They're swinging fully.
Yes. I will probably only be able to do a little bit of it, mostly whips and things, but I'd love to cheer them on. And it's a really kind of a novel idea, the way they're doing it with the podcaster things and everything. They're doing a swant, I think it's called a swants, where they're turning a sweater into pants, the podcasters are, and I guess you're supposed to, I think it's a Stephen West idea, I'm not sure. Anyway, I guess the podcasters involved are going to do it, and then I think the viewers who are involved with the knitting games are going to vote on the one that wins, and I guess the winner gets prizes to give to the podcast, to the group, as part of the prize. I think that's how it works. I don't know. Go check it out. Okay, it sounds like a lot of fun. And so, yeah, that's that promotion.
Are you taking sweaters and putting them on like that?
Yeah. She said you go into, she said, Melissa, I think it was in her last podcast, said that she felt really kind of funny because she went in, you go to the Goodwill or whatever, and you get a sweater, and you try it on like a pair of pants, so you can make it like a pair of pants.
So do you grab like a sweater from your closet, or is it?
No, you go to Goodwill or something.
Oh, okay.
You go to Goodwill or something, yeah, and repurpose it.
Okay.
I don't understand it, but I'll be interested in seeing how they turn out. That I've never heard of such a thing. So anyway,
so you aren't just putting them on; you're actually like changing them.
Yeah, you're making them into pants, is my understanding. If that intrigues you as much as it intrigues me, go check it out.
I see like these Aladdin-style awkward pants.
Yeah. So, and I don't know if that's going to actually be in those two podcast groups, or if it's going to be in the auxiliary groups that are doing that particular challenge. You have to check in the threads. I don't know. But anyway, check them out if you're interested. It should be fun. Okay, now for upcoming. It is now the middle of March almost. We have Daylight Savings Time next weekend. Wow.
It's this weekend.
Well, yeah, it's coming up. That's what I meant by next weekend.
I don't work.
Yay. Don't change your schedule.
Oh, I'm not.
That's what you always say. Anyway, spring is coming, and with spring, a couple weeks after spring, on April 1st, we start the 4th annual PHN Autism Awareness Cal. We have one co-host, and that is Heidi from Undead Yarn. She said she would do it with us. Emily had to bow out this year because of just she couldn't do it this year. So hopefully she will want to do it again next year, but she couldn't do it this year. So we'll miss her, but she will hopefully be back next year. So it's just us and Heidi, which is fine. The rules will be as always. I'm not going to go over them right now. They will be posted probably toward the end of March, so you guys can reread and get familiar and things like that. So think about what you want to do, bright colors and all that kind of stuff. Our sweater shawl along is running.
Yes, it is, and going strongly.
It is going strongly. It is so amazingly awesome with all the sweaters and shawls and things like that. The sweater shawl along runs.
But no swants.
No swants. We don't take swants. I don't think Heidi takes swants for the shawl along either.
No.
Okay. Where I lost my train of thought. Okay.
Not
both
that hard.
Our sweater shawl along.
Derailed.
This is why I get distracted, Sue. You asked me why I get distracted. This is why I get distracted. All right. The sweater shawl along and the shawl along that Heidi's doing.
How?
Good.
Abuse.
The sweater shawl along which is PHN Sweater Shawl Along, and the Undead Yarn Shawl Along. Both are running from January 1st through March 31st. Our Sweater Shawl Along takes both sweaters and shawls, which are knitted or crocheted. The Shawl Along takes only shawls. Okay?
But for our group, you only have one thread to post in.
Right.
The Sweater Shawl Along and the Shawl Along is a combined group.
We will just
Draw twice.
We'll draw first for the Sweater Shawl Along, and then we will clear the number generator and pull again for the Shawl Along. Only the shawls will be eligible for the Shawl Along. Now, as I said, in our group, all projects must be knitted or crocheted. They can be started at any time, but they must be worked between the time period of January 1st through March 31st. It doesn't have to be finished, although we like to see finished objects.
The important thing is that you work on it.
Right. The only one that gets a double FO chance at a prize is the Drake and Shawl for our Sweater Shawl Along. That gets a double chance for a prize. We have prizes for that, and we have prizes for the one for Heidi. They're separate. Heidi is the one who is spearheading the Shawl Along, the Undead Shawl Along. We are just co-hosting along with Bookish Stitcher, and that's Jeanette, and Andres Who Knits, who's Andy. So we were really happy to be asked to do that with them. That's a lot of fun. You can quadruple dip over there. Heck, for your shawls, you can... What's 5? Quintuple dupe? I don't know.
Quintuple dupe? Are we duping people now?
You can dip 5 times for the shawls if you are in our group and you're doing the Sweater Shawl Along. So that's a lot of dipping. That's kind of fun. I'm not going to go over the prizes. I've gone over them multiple times. We are very grateful to all of our donators. Oh, and we've already had a couple of donations offered to us for the autism awareness.
Oh, have we?
Which is exciting. Yay.
We'll go over that later.
Yeah, we'll go over that later when we receive them. Okay, we talked about the Undead Shawl Along. Okay. And we're going into whips unless you have something to say.
No, but whips sound like a good place to go from here. How many whips
I think I have 7.
have?
Let's see.
You are falling behind. 3. You haven't had so few in forever.
5, 6, 7. Yes, I have 7.
I have 1, 2,
7,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, you go first.
Let me make sure I'm counting right, because sometimes I don't count right on the phone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. It's a bunny.
It is.
He is.
It is. He is.
Did you hear that? You got called an it.
Spicy homemaker, right?
Yes.
Not spicy.
Not
mama.
spicy mama.
Okay. All right.
Kitten down.
Aw.
There we go.
You abusing my kitten again?
She fell.
Sure she did.
Okay. So, I guess I do go first. Let me move the sweater. I got hot, so...
You could take this off. This is the necklace that Davina made me. I showed it a little while ago by Owl. Cute. Very cute.
So, in my Silver Shed frog bag, it's gone quite far along. I'm at a straightaway part. Yep. And that's all you can see because it's a design in progress. It is coming, surely.
Don't call me Shirley. Don't call it Shirley.
Sweet.
See, Valeria, I didn't duck that time, but it didn't hit you. She knows what I'm talking about. You have to check the threads.
Okay.
It's all your fault.
Well, I do throw things at people.
Okay, my first one is the Lothlorien shawl, and it is...
And how do you know? Maybe I didn't hit her this time, but maybe I hit someone else. Maybe that was Sue who fell.
Could be. Well, you're in trouble if you hit Sue.
Ooh. Well, maybe someone, leapt in front of her, courageously, and took the bag.
In my my Plover Bird Owl's bag that Davina got me, I am using my, I don't know what this is called, but it's a needle something. Needle minder.
Yeah, I
This is not
used to know the name.
This is not the one that Laura got me. It's on my other project. My other.
We like the same color ones.
Yes.
I ordered some more. She has more blue ones, I have more red ones. Because why would we get any of the 10 other colors they have when they have blue and red?
They have blue and red. We don't need any other colors. And I know that the red ones are hers, and she knows the blue ones are mine.
Exactly.
So this is my Lothlorien shawl, and
They're the same size.
Yes.
Not the shawls.
I started the ribbing. You can't see it because I just started the first row, and I'm not sure. I always lose track when I count, so I think I did what I'm supposed to do. But if I find out I didn't, I will do a design element, and the ribs will be the way it is. I just keep on with it. But anyway, I'm getting there. It's taking forever because it's just like a million stitches.
A million, huh? Actually, probably it's a lot of
It takes me like 25 minutes to get through one row. So
once you get to that point in that shawl, it does.
So I'm probably, depending on how many rows this is going to take, maybe I'll finish it by next week if I do a row or two at a time.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not rushing it. I have too many other things. And the thing is, I need to finish some of these shawls so I can
Start other shawls.
put K's on them.
Yes, Kay's newest shawl has been released,
Yes.
and
I already
we
have
had
the
gotten a kit a couple during our first Shenandoah Fiber Festival together, and I talked her into a sweater kit, and we finally found a use for that yarn because neither of us decided we wanted to make that sweater.
Yeah, it wasn't us.
So we're going to make Kay's shawl instead.
Yep.
With that yarn, so that yarn will not go to waste.
I can't find my fourth one. I don't know where it went.
You must have given it to someone.
I don't think so.
Well, good thing you only need 3 skeins.
Maybe I did give it to somebody. I don't know.
And at least we've basically determined there was 2 of the,
Very similar colors.
yeah, if not the same.
Okay, your turn.
Okay, let me go ahead and...
This is a more relaxing. You don't want to necessarily drink it as fast.
Well, that's good, right? That means it'll last longer to the podcast.
I mean, and it doesn't taste. You know, I like my tea to stay hot.
Uh-huh.
This one tastes okay, even if it's a little cooler.
Okay. Well, it tastes more like a dessert.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait till I get a little decongested, because when I first get up, I do get congested. And so I'm not getting the full taste of this. I'll probably be able to taste it better later. Even though I can still tell it tastes good. It smells good, even.
I could taste it. Did you put sugar in that?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's very, very good. How much sugar did you put?
Just 1 pack.
Not bad. I had to put more of that than one in here because I had it so weak.
Yeah.
But it's very, very good. The sugar brings out the flavor really well.
Oh, sugar tends to do that.
Mm-hmm. Is it my turn or yours?
It is mine. I just didn't listen to you. In my stack. In my PHN silver shed bag, which also is my purse, I almost thought I wasn't getting work done on this week. Then I had we got a lot of new equipment at work, and I worked on this a little bit then when we did our training. I don't mind as much going to extra meetings and stuff when it's not just a meeting, when it's training for equipment, because then it's good. It means new happy equipment, and it is happy equipment. It's in the middle of a row.
Of course it is.
So I don't want to pull too much, but
Looks very nice.
this is, I don't know if I said the name of the pattern. This is a Bullfinch Sock Knit Shawl by Bryony Bear, who is KF Jones from the Bakery Bears podcast. I'm using West Yorkshire Spinners in the colorway Bullfinch. And I have, no, this isn't EMs, this is Paprika or something like that,
Yeah.
for the, which would be the edge color. Presumably I should probably finish this shawl before starting Kay's new shawl.
Mm-hmm.
Will that happen?
Probably not.
Probably not. Will I wait to finish something else before I cast it on?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. You should. I'm trying to get at least the way it done.
I
before
was
start.
wondering if you had started it already.
No. I have another colorwork one I have to finish still. I have Forest 4 I still have to finish. Doesn't make me, I mean, I won't start it. But,
No.
you know.
Okay, we are flying!
Okay. My next one is in my other owl bag, and this one's in Knitting's My Bag, Owl's Bag. It's a Sleepy Owl's Bag.
Sleepy Alice?
Yeah, I call it that even though I'm not really asleep.
Is it because it looks like it's nighttime?
Yeah. And this is Laura's that she gave me. Thank you, Laura. And I did a couple rows
It's
on
a
this.
matchy, 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 match.
It is. These are on my Chai-Gu size 8s, I think. Yeah, US 8s.
I was gonna say, I think usually that pattern calls for 8s.
So it's coming along. This was not nearly as far along as the other
It's
one.
a really pretty color.
Yeah, it is. I wasn't sure how I was going to like this when I started knitting it, even though I liked it in the skein, and I do like it very much. I was worried that would have too much purple in it, but it doesn't. So
It's very dark. It's
It is.
definitely like a midnight.
it's very much a winter kind of shawl or a fall one. I probably wouldn't wear this in the summer, unless I wanted to.
I was gonna say, why ever not?
I might wear it with a white. I don't wear white. I get things that are white dirty.
Although, my coworker, she was like, well, you can't wear white after this time, and you have to, then after this time you can start wearing white again. I'm like, okay, when can't I wear white so I can purposely wear white during that period of time?
Well, that's just the old etiquette.
And part of me is just like, wait, you say I can't wear white? I'm going to wear white. Because,
You're a bad person that way.
No, because I usually wear white.
But anyway, this is a lot of fun. This is my second Yowza, and I called it the Follow Your Dream. And this is a Susan B. Anderson, and I like her patterns. They're fun, even though I've only done one. I've got 2 of them on the needles, though, so.
Yeah, I have finished 2 that particular way, and I finished, what's the other one I did? Was it 2?
3, I think.
I did, no, 3 is the one you're working on. I finished 2 of the 3.
Yeah, 2.
And then I think I finished 1 of the 2.
Yeah.
The 2 has a nice shape to it.
Now that you're doing all the numbers out, I was listening to a new podcast that Emily...
Yeah, I hope you guys
Chain
weren't counting. You probably were.
Emily Chain of Fools recommended to me, and from Fibertown. And she kept throwing these numbers I was trying to count, and it's like...
And it wasn't We Are Yarn?
No, it wasn't weird. I had to mute her because she kept messing me up, and then I put it back on after I got my place. But it was because she's really funny. She does beautiful work. But she kept throwing like 2 and 5, and like stop. But anyway, it's not her fault. She didn't know I was counting.
Of course she did. I know people are counting right now.
Your turn.
25, 18. Okay. Brain gone completely. So I'm just gonna finish this row. I am working on this is Kay's Fault mitered square blanket. Since I'm just finished talking about the shawl by Kay, and I didn't feel like grab my other project, so we're gonna talk about this one. This actually got a fair amount of work this week. I am using scrap yarns from projects that are DK Sport worsted. I am mostly using wool. Actually, I think these are all wool. I was trying to use mostly natural fibers. I have donations, trades in here. And I am currently working. I started this square on podcast day last week. This was my first one of Mom's I've done in a while.
Knock her out pretty.
I'm in a Mom section. This is another one of hers. Then this one.
Was that I'm trying to think what that one was called.
I can't remember.
Huh? I have to check on my.
And this is, I think, the one you call Barbie.
I didn't call any Barbie.
Okay, well,
That's My Little Pony. I think.
My Little Pony, maybe. Okay,
Yeah.
I knew it was something girly. So definitely not my normal shades, but it's definitely fun in this blanket. There's nothing really quite like this one either.
Mm-hmm.
It's yellow and black and red.
I forget what I called that. I'd have to look on
It
my
made me think of fire.
That's what the intention was.
It makes me think of that one colorway. I like to burn stuff with you. The
Oh yeah.
knitting circles colorway.
Yeah. I like the way the black came out in that. I didn't,
Well, there's a point where there's almost a little bit of a bluish, whitish hint in here. So like the tip of the flame, you can't really notice unless you look up really close. But yes, I actually, for a while, I was barely getting a square done a week. And I got, 3 and partial square. Partly because more complicated knitting has not been something I've been able to do this week. I got my car, but that also meant that I didn't get much sleep because I had to get up early.
yeah, we were driving home at 8 o'clock at night. We were there at 4.
Mm-hmm.
So My husband went home and we stayed
Yeah.
because he had things to do in Vienna. Had to get home,
And my new car is happy. It is awesome.
it's a nice car.
It is. I've been listening to podcasts on my phone. It automatically Bluetooths into my phone and starts playing my podcast I was listening to.
That's cool.
So, it is kind of cool. I don't have to attach it or anything. Of course, I could tell it to be quiet and attach my iPod instead, but it's nice having an up-to-date car instead of, I didn't even have a fob on my car before, so I am very psyched. But anyway, I've been doing the mindless projects. Hence my brioche hasn't gotten any love because I haven't had the brain power to focus on it.
Right.
Your turn.
Okay. My next project in my Knitting's My Bag, French Ladies Bag is my Pinktober shawl that I started a couple of years. I guess I started. When did I start? Last year?
You started last Pinktober.
Last Pinktober. And this is just kind of a.
Because you've only been dyeing for less than a year.
Yeah, I forgot this is my dyed yarn. I'm on my second skein of the two. I'm not really sure how big this is going to be. It's a worsted weight yarn. And this, I believe, was Kool-Aid dyed. Cherry or something. I wasn't taking really good notes about that. It might be food coloring. I don't remember.
No, I don't think it's food coloring.
I think this
is only like your second
Kool-Aid dye. It's just a pattern out of my head. I'm just kind of playing, and I think they're like 230 or 220 yards each skein. And I have this much left, so I'm not sure. It's kind of bunched up on the needles. I think it's just probably, if I stretch it out, it might be a little shorter than my wingspan, but the length of it, each row is getting longer, so I'm not sure how much bigger this is actually going to get or how it's going to block out.
Right.
It's 100% wool. I don't think it's superwash, so I guess we'll see how. My understanding is that superwash
it blocks a lot more.
Well, superwash blocks out more than wool.
Yeah, it's stretchy.
So we'll see.
So it has something to do with the lanolin being stripped or something like that.
Yeah. So I'll see.
Bless you.
Excuse me. Thank you.
Well, that was a delicate, cute little sneeze.
So this is, I think it'll be okay regardless of how much it blocks out, because I have about 2/3 or half of a skein here. So it should be long enough to at least have a small shawlette, but we'll see. Hopefully it will, because I don't know what I'm going to do if it doesn't. I guess I can add a crochet border to it or something.
Okay, so let me turn my phone back on so I can see my show notes. My next one, I might have to put my sweater on, be a little chilly.
There we go.
This is the Fisherman's Cardigan, which is the, is this a Sarah pattern? Oh, this is a Sarah pattern. And I'm chilly. And if you guys have been watching the podcast for the past year or so, you have seen me working on this for the past year.
It's a very complicated pattern.
It was very complicated, and then there was a period of time where I took a break.
It's very nice. It's very soft.
It
and
is
extremely
very soft.
warm.
Okay. I might zip it up later, but I'm okay right now. Okay. So, in my Silver Shed bat bag, is On the Forest Floor. Actually, that's the name of the pattern. The project name is Into the Woods. I still haven't changed it in my show notes. By Simone Carit. I'm using Dragonfly Fibers in the base Traveler, and I'm using the colorways That Old Chestnut, Mushroom Hunting, and the Whale line.
Pretty pretty.
It is. This one gets a fair amount of work, because honestly it's not that complicated of a pattern.
Excuse me.
Which is not an insult. It's a nice thing to work.
Well,
it looks more complicated than it is.
The fun thing about it is it does look more complicated than it is. I haven't started this yet because I haven't got to that point. My hands are finally getting to the point where I might try that now. So maybe we'll see some work on mine later.
The video she has to help you with the surface crochet is very nice. My favorite color is That Old Chestnut, which is the deep brown. Mushroom Hunting is this kind of variegated brown, and then that Old Whale line is the green yellow. It's kind of the highlighter yellow.
It's pretty.
But my favorite is this chocolate brown here. So it's not. It definitely does not quite match the theme of most of my shawls. Most of my shawls tend to be red, orangish, yellow. I have one green shawl, but you know,
That was one of your first ones.
it was my first one.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I'd only knit one shawl. I have
And that was
20
because that was
million and
gifted to you.
onesies. Yes, it was. I have knit 10 million onesies as petals, but only this year have I really started knitting shawls.
My husband teases us all the time, especially me. He's like, "Oh, let me guess, it's another shawl."
I wear my shawls.
I do
though.
too.
I wear them as kerchiefs, and I wear them around my shoulders frequently.
Or he's just teasing.
Oh, well, you know, he's got to do that.
Yes, he does. It's what he does. Okay, I wasn't going to work anymore on this one. This is my, in my, me, my dog, and
Incoming
some
back.
yarn. My
Bubbles!
In my me, my dog, and some yarn bag, which is Kim, Black Horse. I always forget she's Black Horse or Black Horse Knitter.
She's Black Horse.
She's going to roll her eyes at me, but I didn't know if I was going to.
Black Horse and the Cherry Tree.
Yeah, I didn't know if I was going to start this up again, and finally I decided, you know, I'm just going to do it. So this is my Violently Happy shawl restarted. I did a few rows on it. Let's see here. Heidi's yarn has some good memory to it, so it's a little bit crimpy right now, but it's not a big deal. It's very soft, and I enjoy working on it. Whoops.
And that's the Vampiri base?
This is Vampiri base, yeah. So, people who have been watching the podcast for a little while know that I ripped everything out. This was quite a bit further along, and I just ripped it all out because it wasn't doing what it was supposed to. The colors are really, really pretty. Heidi did a great job on this. And how great a job it is, again, if you watched, you've heard me say this, is these are not my colors, despite what people think. But I saw this and I had to have it.
Blair.
Yes, Blair. This is a pale pink, this is a pale red bag.
Yes.
Blair. Pale red. Because there are there are dark pink, what is it, dark red stoplights? Excuse me just a minute. Davina, hat and water.
I gotcha.
She's going outside. It's nice out. It's about 75 degrees out.
I
It
don't
was
know. I
quite
have not
warm.
been up.
Anyway, this is a very nice pattern. Well, very nice. It's a mindless pattern. It's my own pattern. And
It's a very nice
It's very
pattern.
nice yarn is what I wanted to say. So, and the bag is perfect for it. So that is that. And I'm using size 5. I'm using size 8s.
Oh.
Wow. I'm using 8s for that? Huh.
That can't be right.
I am using 8s. You
For fingering weight?
Yep. That can't be right. I must be using 5. I have to check that later and see. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So, talked about that. In my Silver Shed knitting caps bag is Bert and Ernie. No, that's not what's in this bag. Sorry. That's in this bag. In my Plover Bird TARDIS bag, bigger on the inside, is Bert and Ernie. This is the Impressions pattern by Agnes Kutaz-Karetzes, and I went through and queued a bunch of her shawls because apparently I just really like how she designs shawls.
Her last one's really pretty.
It is. I'm using Knitted Wits DK Superwash Merino in the colorway Yams, and some leftover Miss Babs Yazawetta Skein in the colorway Squash Blossom. That's the yarn that keeps on giving. This yarn has been in so many projects.
Including Kay's Messalina.
I've done Kay's Messalina, I've done a Yowza, it's been in the Bats, it's been in this shawl.
Well, Miss Babs has a very generous skein.
Well, I also ordered more because I thought about making something for Davina out of it, and then I just gave her the Messalina. So I had all this.
That's right, she does have the Messalina.
Mm-hmm. So, the Yams is the orange.
It looks like a lampshade.
Right now it does.
Yeah, because of the... There you go, that's better.
Right now we're still in a very orange part. This particular chart is all in orange. I don't know if when I get to the next chart It'll be in yellow. I haven't looked that far ahead in the pattern. Now, this is not the way that the colors the designer chose. The designer used like purples and greens to make it look more like a Monet. Me, being me, I do yellows and oranges. Besides, Bert and Ernie.
Ha.
And this is for the Muppet Along, which I won't finish in time for the Muppet Along.
Oh, yeah. I put one thing in the Muppet Along. I don't know if I'll finish anything else. My Elmo's sitting on hiatus right now, so I have other things.
Because he's in
attention.
trouble.
Well, I don't like his being a pain. I'll do it later.
It's just because, you know, I am such an awesome designer that you can't stand making the toys with mine.
Ha ha ha. Okay, in my Kiki-Boo bag, my owl bag, I have my winter wheat hat, baby hat. I didn't finish it because I tore it out.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, I tore it out because I was fixing a mistake, and I need to watch a tutorial on how to fix a mistake. And I messed it up, so I took it out.
I was like, wait, you aren't going to have a finished object for this?
Yeah. So this is only like a day and a half of knitting, so it's not like it's going slowly or anything. I just didn't feel like hurting my hand to finish it up. And it's a very heavy hat. This is the second smallest size, so this is for the babies, not for the preemie. And this is very, very heavy. It's really truly a winter hat. It's not a hat that you might give to a baby who is coming home in the middle of summer. Poor thing would sweat to death. But it's a pretty color. I like the way it's working up.
It's got flex.
It's got flex in it. It's very soft.
Me and flex, we have issues.
Yeah, well, you have issues with a lot of things. So I'm enjoying it.
I do not enjoy flecky yarn.
I like working the loom. It's a lot of fun, and it saves my hands a little bit for other things. I do know that I have to wear. Sometimes I have to wear my carpal tunnel brace on my left hand when I'm holding it, because my left hand doesn't like to have any
weight.
Yeah, be stuck in one position for a long time without support. But it's getting better. It's moving along. The yarn is let me see. The yarn is Hometown USA Super Bulky in the Wichita Tweed colorway, and I'm not sure I'm going to be doing much more. I have a whole bunch of them. Well, not a whole bunch. I have 3 more of those. That weight in that yarn is different colors. I'm not sure I like that for a hat, and I'm not sure I have enough in one skein to make a bigger hat. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that. I guess I can stripe a bigger hat.
Yeah, you probably can.
Use 3 different colors or something so it doesn't look like a color block hat. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I guess I'll learn how to change colors. So
hey, new skills.
New skills. Okay.
Okay. Now, actually in my nurse's cap silver shed bag is Reckless Dancing. This is a Dance All Night Slouch Socks pattern by Erica Jakowski, aka Fiddle Knits, using Miss Babs Yazawetta skein in the colorway Perfectly Reckless. And I'm also using Knit Picks Brava worsted for the heels and toes. One sock is done, has been done. This got some work in the restaurant prior to going to get my car and while waiting in the car place. So it's just it's a very easy part of the pattern. This is a very nice pattern. Oh yes. I look forward to when I have my Batman Superman yarn on here for the sock, and then I have this stitch marker. It'll be awesome. Little Miss Thing has gone outside.
Yeah, we need to. I wish we had that door open because I can't see her. We do have a fence, but
she should be fine. We have a fence. We can hear when she comes.
I'm hoping that I didn't turn the thing back on.
Did you want to check?
Yeah.
Can I put this on pause?
It's okay.
We're back.
Yeah.
Actually, I think even though I'm congested from getting up, I'm not nearly as bad as I was. The airing out of this room and the spraying must have done something. I must have been allergic
too.
Yeah, I must have been allergic to something in here. I mean, I'm congested, but no more than my normal congested in the morning.
Right.
So the airing out, I think, did it because I would be miserable by this time last week and in previous weeks. But yes,
pretty socks.
This has been getting some love. Not near as much as it should because of the project I'm going to talk about later, but
Right.
continue onward.
Okay, my
Flying
next one is in my Stitched by Mimi bag, my teacup bag. Teacup.
The one is actually teacups too.
They're all teacups bags.
Yeah, she says tea.
And I did maybe a row or two on this, not too much.
With the foam.
What's this? This is my
Air conditioning foam.
Floating on a Cloud blanket from the Brookside Baby Blanket pattern. Well, it's Brookside Blanket pattern. And it's by 5410 Studio. And I'm using US 13s, 9mm Knit Pick Circulars. No, I'm not using Knit Pick Circulars. I didn't change this out. These are my Chaigus, my red lace.
Were you going to change them out?
Yeah, I changed them out to my Chaigus.
Oh, yeah.
And it does have the number on here.
Oh, yeah, Chaigus do.
I can't. I know these are. Yeah, there it is. 13s. I have them upside down. Anyway, I love the needles. The yarn I'm getting used to. It hides a lot of mistakes.
Hides the pattern too.
Well, the pattern I can see now that it's getting a little. You know, if you have it further away, you can see the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on the body of it now. I've finished the border, the lower border, so I'm going to be working the body.
Is this the yarn that's required for the pattern?
No.
Mm-hmm.
I do have another white skein to finish this, and I have 2 greens.
Mm-hmm.
And if people like this yarn, I may destash the green if they like using it and find something else to work it. Not because the yarn is bad yarn, it's just I'm not sure I really want to work it again. We'll see. But
she would love to off it on you guys.
No, I said if anybody wanted it.
She would love to off it on you.
I don't off things. Anyway, it's living in here, and this fits this ginormous skein of yarn plus the project with no trouble whatsoever. So this is a very big bag. I like it a lot. It makes me happy.
My 2 member-made bags, like Mama C bag has my brioche, so it's not here, and my bless her bag.
Sandy's.
Thank you,
Stitched
Sandy.
By Mimi.
Stitched by Mimi's. Hers has my hitchhiker, and I haven't worked on it in a while, so both of them are kind of languishing.
Yeah, I know that. I feel that way about my my Christina bag is over there because the project I'm working on is not being worked on right now, and that my my Silver Shed bags, because I've got things like Bleer and that kind of stuff in. I'm not working on it right now. They're sitting there, and I miss them. But I've got other bags. I'm using other bags, but it makes me unhappy that I don't hit all my bags.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is a bag I haven't used in a while. Speaking of bags,
I'm saving that one for the.
In my autism awareness, Niddy's my bag is Chocolate Hug.
Chocolate Hug.
Yes, this is the Reader's Wrap pattern by
right.
Lisa Carnahan. I wanted to just hit all my bases. Sometimes my horse blanket shawl is itchy, and you know I don't necessarily always like wearing against bare skin. It's one thing if I have a lot of layers, but at night before I go to bed, it's sometimes just a little too itchy against my skin. So I'm going to show you a picture of this. Mom has something very similar that's not knitted.
Yeah, my mother-in-law gave it to me as a gift one year. It's not knitted. It's something she bought for me.
Yeah. Sorry about the crinkling, but you need to see this.
And I may make this.
And I just searched reader or reading. It's a shawl stole type thing with pockets.
Yeah. It's perfect for putting a book or a notebook or a remote.
Or if you're not feeling well, having tissues in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And it just wraps around your shoulders just for that little bit of extra warmth. It calls for an Aran weight. I decided to use a bulky weight, and I still went with the needle size. It tells you to use US 9s.
For an Aran weight?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I just went ahead and used bulky weights.
With 9s?
With 9s.
I guess that's not too bad.
And I just think I stole my needle protector for a different project. Oh well.
We have plenty of them.
I need my other ones to come in.
Mm-hmm.
So, This has actually gotten quite a bit of work considering the fact that this was not started last week.
Very nice. And
that's
that's the width, right?
That's the width
Yeah.
of. So this is just. This will have one pocket on it. Then it goes all the way around, and it'll have a pocket on the other side. This is actually quite wide.
Yeah. Very nice. Is that a garter stitch edge?
No, it's the one I kept calling seed stitch.
Oh,
That
right.
isn't seed
Right.
stitch. And I can't remember what it's called.
Well, whatever it is keeps it from rolling.
Yes. And then it has a stockinette in the center.
It's very pretty.
So.
Nice and plain.
And since it's an acrylic, I can just throw it in the washer, and if I fall asleep with it, it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to be allergic to it.
She dribbles on it when she eats. I remember when you used to do that, even when you didn't eat.
You know that poor Davina would be like in horror.
But it's not Davina I'm talking
She
about.
doesn't care. Because
Yeah, Davina would be very put out
horrified.
with me. Yeah.
But yes, because we randomly decided to go in that direction.
Yes, we did. Very pretty.
But yes, I've been enjoying knitting on this.
The color is very nice on this because this is a very plain pattern,
Mm.
and you don't really want something with a lot of variegation, I don't think. But
I think it could handle the variegation.
I don't think this part would do well with the variegation. Maybe with the tonal,
Mm-hmm.
but the fact that this is such a rich color.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, I don't like solids that don't have any depth or variance or whatever. But this works really well with it.
And it's just supposed to be something I wear around the house. I'm not going to wear this out. It's not meant for that.
No.
And actually, I'm going to work on it now. So let me move this project out of the
All right. My last one is in my Knit Into My Bag Angel bag, my large one, sweater size. And this is my Festus the Owl. It's a bunny. But Festus is not a bunny.
You need to take a drink.
I did. Festus is an owl. And I finished Festus' head. So there's his head. The thing with Festus is I have to be careful with how much crochet I do. And with Festus, I don't want to stop doing it. So I have to kind of
The owl is kind of addictive, if I may say so myself. The designer is me.
Yes, this is Franciscan Gypsy Designs, and this is how far I've gotten on the body. Once I finish the body, I have the wings and the beak, and I'm...
If you are new to PHN and are not familiar with Franciscan Gypsy Designs, the pattern is York the Owl.
Yes, York the Owl. So this is the body. I'm not very far on the body, but it doesn't take long. So once I do the body, I'll have the wings and the beak. And actually, the wings is what took the longest, I think, for me. It just seems like the wings went on forever.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't. It's easy. It's just I was wanting to finish it.
Right. When you get to that point, you're
And
like,
so,
I'm almost done.
And it matches my bag. The yarn I'm using for this is, let's see, I'm using, if I get to the right place, I'm using a 3mm hook, which is between, I think, a C and a D, or between a D and an E, I forget which one. And I'm using Knit Picks Brava Sport in Tide Pool, cream, black, and Miss Babs Yowza What a Skein in the Biker Chick Babette. This Biker Chick you would have seen in my my patches. And
Which is another one of my patterns.
Yes, it is. This is Brat.
And Brat actually recently got released.
And if you look at this,
same yarn.
Festus has quite a different color than Brat does, or than Patches
Same
does.
skein of yarn.
It's the same skein of yarn. I'm using the second part of the yarn, which is kind of cool. They're going to be fraternal. Okay.
Which leads to my last project. In my Plover Bird turtle bag.
I like that bag.
This is Mithril. This also leads into stash enhancements. Because I think I'm the only one with stash enhancements anyway.
Yeah.
I
bought a pattern, but
Heidi's going to kick my rear end.
Heidi, get your steel-toed boot on.
Because I saw that she had in her cemetery base, which is 100% superwash merino DK, 2 skeins of Smog's Treasure.
Which is really pretty.
Which I've been looking at for a while. So I picked them both up.
Every time I saw it, it was in fingering weight, and I didn't want it in fingering weight.
So I paid this is the first time I've seen Smaug's Treasure in non-fingering weight. So I picked it up, and then immediately it's like, I need to make an owl with this. And so I started Mithril. This is York the Owl pattern, designed by me. And like I said, it's in the Smaug's Treasure color. Right? And Mithril is one of Smaug's, the Mithril,
Well, Mithril wasn't Smaug's, though, because the Hobbit had it.
he found, it was a dwarf, it was a dwarf.
It was a dwarf, it was mail, it was chainmail.
It's dwarf chainmail, but Smaug had it in his treasure when he had taken over that.
Oh, okay, that's right. That's right.
That's how Bilbo got it.
Yeah, that's
they
right.
They gave him
that's how Bilbo got it,
the
right.
armor.
That's right.
Come on, know your Hobbit here.
I know my Hobbit.
Um,
And I know Benita, from Benita's story, I think it was Benita's, she was talking about how she didn't like the Hobbit movies because
oh well, yeah.
she liked
you do
both,
not want to get me started on that.
She doesn't like me. She likes the story's okay,
Yeah.
but it threw too much stuff in, and she doesn't watch it. She said it's she mentioned Legolas coming back, and she mentioned the girl, which I don't like.
You do not want to get me started on that.
Are we going to do this now? Okay.
You do not want to get me started.
Anyway, she said as a story it's okay, which I think that's what she said, and I agree, but it's not The Hobbit.
No,
it's not. It's just,
it's not even well.
Well, it's not well conceived.
Well, it's not a well done movie.
Well, the movie's not badly done, but it has plot holes. We're not going to get into this, but anyway.
I made her miserable on the way home from The Hobbit.
I don't watch movies with her that she's going to be critical of because she won't let me enjoy it.
I let you enjoy it at the time.
She won't let me enjoy it. She won't give me a day to enjoy the movie before she starts attacking it.
Look, it's an owl named Mithril. He's cute.
But he's not real Mithril.
Well, no, of course not.
And he's pretending to be real Mithril, and he's not well conceived.
Oh, did you see that sad owl face?
He's so cute.
And
oh, you got fire in the body.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
she started after me. I just can't do as much crocheting.
And it's very hard for me once I start one of my toys' heads. I always want to finish the colorwork parts.
Yes.
And I usually get to the head really quickly, and then I take my time with the rest of the body. But this pattern goes by so quickly. It's so small. This is my first DK owl.
Yeah, mine is a Miss Babs, which is, it's a little bigger because I think if I used a DK with my hook, it would be the same size because it's not that much off of what you are.
Yeah, I'm doing an E-hook.
She's doing an E-hook, and I'm using a 3. But my yarn is a slightly bigger, light worsted. So
yeah, because Mom's gauge tends to be
a little bit bigger
than mine.
Yeah.
I am apparently quite a tight crocheter, but so yes, Heidi, I started another toy with another one of your yarns.
Which steel-toed boot is Heidi going to use? We will see. Okay. Do you have any FOs?
I do not.
Okay, I do. In my not knitting my bag, in my turbo knitter bag, and everybody knows what's in my turbo knitter bag, I do my dyeing, and I put my skeins in here. I did a couple mini skeins. I tried a new technique that I saw on, I think it was, what's her name? I can see her in my head. She's from Jinx Yarn, Laura. I can't remember her podcast. I'm sorry, Laura, I don't remember. Why is that in my face?
Possibly because it's there.
I do not wish it. Okay. I did these two. I dyed these skeined, lightly skeined up. And so I got kind of a variegated. I guess it's variegated. I used yellow, and I believe, I'm not sure if I used red or orange. I think I used red.
But it wasn't the color you originally wanted because you were going to overdye.
No, this one was.
Oh, because you were going to overdye.
I was going to put a red in here to make it a flame, but it looks so nice the way it was. And I think if I put red in here, it wouldn't have turned out the way I wanted. So this is, and this hasn't been reskeined yet. It's still a mess. But this is, I think I called this tangerine.
Because they really turned out quite lovely.
So it's got this loose thing here that's in my way. Let me see if I can figure out which way it's supposed to be going. So I can retwist this. It can be reskeined later. And this was fun. I mean, it was interesting to see how it came out, because what I did was I actually skeined. I actually didn't have it skeined when I did the first color, and then I skeined it up. Now this one was a surprise. I'm calling this one Butterscotch, and it didn't come out anything like I thought it would. This, I didn't start out with a base color. I left it natural, and I skeined it, and I used neon green, and then I reskeined it and did copper. I probably could have left the copper in a little bit longer because there's quite a bit left, but I'm hard pressed to see the green in here. I can see it from this angle, but I don't think you can see it on the screen. It looks more yellow. I wasn't sure I was going to like this, but it grows on you. It's
just more muted than you're used to dying.
It's much more muted, and I think I'm going to call it Butterscotch unless I can come up with a different name that's a little more. And my husband, he's funny because he says I don't like that one as much. It's okay, but
then good. I won't give it to you.
But then he says to me later. He says, "Well, I was dying actually." He was saying, "Do you need anything? I'm getting something from Amazon." I said, "Well, I can use some red dye." And I forget. I said another color, and he came back later and said, "I picked up some other dye for you too. You're going to be really surprised." So I have no idea what he picked up for me. It would be interesting if it comes in before the weekend. You may see it, but anyway, this is the other one, and I think it's called Butterscotch, and it's this one really surprised me because I don't see the neon green at all.
Yeah.
I see a tinge of green in some of it, but it's like it completely washed out. And I think that this kind of orange color would have been a little bit of a darker copper if I had left it in, because there was quite a bit of color in the water when I pulled it out. I should have let it saturate a little more. That's that.
Okay.
That's all I have for FO.
Oh, well, let's put it here.
Yeah.
Okay. Design news. I have one pattern in active designing. You saw that bag. One pattern in testing. That would be, this is Mom's test version because I left my bat in the other room. Bruce the bat.
Only that's not Bruce. That's
Babs. Bruce is in the other room.
Mm-hmm.
I just forgot to bring him.
She's got her wings here.
And then Brat the kitten got released over the weekend.
And this is my patches.
Yes.
Off the Brat the kitten.
So, I believe that Bruce gets released on Thursday. Not this Thursday, next Thursday.
Okay.
Because I'm actually off next Thursday because I work that Saturday. So.
Right. Okay. Speaking of which, we might have a schedule change. We'll let you know more about that later when she has her schedule solidified.
Yeah, we have some staffing changes at work.
We will continue to do once a week. It just will be a different day.
Yeah,
that's
that's usually what changes is the day we podcast.
Yes.
We will continue podcasting every week.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. That orange was not called Tangerine. It was called Jack-o'-lantern.
Well, you lied to them.
I was mistaken. I did not.
You lied to our viewers, to our friends. You are a horrible.
Her nose is growing.
Horrible person.
See, her nose grew. She's eating her nose.
This is my nose.
Drop it. Drop it.
My nose?
Drop it.
Oh, wait, Cyrano de Bergerac.
For what?
Remember when he went off about how you could properly insult someone?
Yes. Is this the nose that launched 1,000 ships?
It has to be the version with
Ferrer.
Ferrer. I always...
Jose Ferrer? Is that his name?
I think it might be, because I always think it's, what's his face, and it's not. I always think it's Basil Rathbone, but it's not.
No. I think it's Jose Ferrer.
Yeah.
I can never say it.
It's like the 40s, 50s version.
Mm-hmm. He's fantastic.
Oh, he's awesome, because when he goes into that speech about how he should have been insulted about his nose.
Now, the guy who he ends up writing for, who Roxanne gets married to, he actually stands up to him.
Yes.
Your nose, sir. Blah 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 blah. I forget what he says. But
What it is he'd start telling the story
Mhm.
about this a fight or something. I think about the nose.
and he kept interrupting.
And he kept adding
like a nose.
nose. Yes.
Yeah. But
or
the fact was,
through the nose, and
the fact was that it was hard, sort of, besides the fact that Roxanne wanted him to be careful with him, take care of him and all that, take him under his wing, he actually admired him because he wasn't afraid to...
yeah,
You
he
know,
was kind of dared to
Yeah.
uh
Well, they told
annoy
he wasn't dared. He was told not to.
yes,
Yes.
and he took that as
Well, he was a
please
Gascon.
do.
He was a Gascon.
That's right.
He was a Gascon. Just like D'Artagnan, he was a Gascon.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry, if we have anyone from Gascony.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Well, back then.
back then, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he could. Is that not an area anymore?
I don't know.
We're Americans. Our geography stinks.
Okay.
Understand geography stinks. But hey, speaking of France, Queen Isabella was originally from France. I am reading this book. The inside cover called her like the she-wolf of France. She was actually Queen of England, wife of Henry II. Not Henry, Edward.
Which person is it?
Edward.
Do you even know?
I do know.
Did you read the book? Part of it, anyway.
Edward II. I don't know why I said Henry.
Henry on the brain.
I guess. Edward II, mother of Edward III. They have just overthrown Edward II, and he has disappeared and or been murdered. They're discussing that possibility that he might have actually not been murdered. And this is by Alison Weir, whose historical books I absolutely love. I meant to get more reading done on King John, but Isabella has been so riveting that even John, who I had to start right away, has not gotten the attention he deserves. So what will probably happen is I'll restart John after Isabella's done. And John is by Mark Morris.
Okay. I have a couple books that I put in my wish list. They're both historical. One takes place in the Revolutionary War period, and you might like it. It's a medical type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one takes place during the reign of Elizabeth.
Oh.
Because it's about a man who becomes a saint. His last name is Howard. And I'm wondering if he's a relation to
Catherine Howard.
So I'm looking forward to reading that. I have those on my wish list so I can read those along with my fantasy books because I think that will be interesting. One is about, I think it was Cotton Mather who, I had to read because I don't remember the blurb, that he wanted to do some kind of inoculation for smallpox and how there was a big debate about it and all this. So it'll be interesting during the Revolutionary War period. So that's kind of cool.
Speaking of historical, I have been, part of why I'm behind on all my knitting podcasts, I'm probably way behind now, but I have been binge listening to stuff you missed in history class. And they don't usually run longer than they run anywhere from, depending on when what period of time you're listening to, anywhere from like 15 minutes to about 40 minutes. And I've just been binge listening to old episodes, and it's easy. I'll do a row and be like, oh, okay, episodes changed. Let me switch projects. So it's been really good, and I get a variety of history. So I've been enjoying re-listening to some old episodes and catching some that I didn't catch before. I had missed, actually, the one about young Elizabeth, which is very interesting because she talked about Alison Weir's books. And I'm like, I read that book!
And if you remembered as much as you remembered of this last book, maybe you should read it again.
You're being attacked by kitten.
Patches does not attack. Patches is a good kitty.
But
you need to get the actual brat for that one.
Yes, I do. He's in the other room. Because I have one on Elizabeth that I want to read that's by someone else, not Alison Weir. Because I don't have Alison Weir's. It wasn't available at the bookstore when I went. But it's been interesting. I want to read Sister Queens It's about Juana La Loca and Catherine of Aragon.
Okay, I don't know anything about them. So.
Well, you know about Catherine of Aragon,
Right.
of course. Juana, of course, daughter of Isabella and Ferdinand. She was older than Catherine. She got married, and the guy was, I believe he was verbally abusive. I don't think they actually have proof of him being physically, but she was extremely jealous of him. It was very common for the kings to have affairs and stuff, and she was extremely jealous. She used to starve herself in protest. She, for all accounts, kind of went nuts. And she had to be locked away, but her son ended up inheriting the throne, so they needed to have her around. She was called La Loca, and I really want to read it. The book is about her and Catherine.
Oh, interesting.
Because she actually visited court when Catherine was there, in between her first husband, who had died young, Arthur.
Whose first husband?
Catherine's first husband, because she was actually married twice.
Right.
She was married to Henry's older brother,
Right.
Arthur.
I didn't know that was his name.
Yeah, and he died before they consummated or anything. That was actually his excuse for the divorce, was her marriage to Arthur. Between that marriage and her marriage to Henry, she was miserable at court because her father didn't really want to pay up for the dowry because she wasn't married to either of the sons, and Henry's father wasn't really treating her that well because Ferdinand wasn't paying up. So she's sort of like floating around court, not really doing well. And when her sister visits, she's like, hey, I really am not very happy here. Can you tell Dad to bring me home, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I really want to read Sister Queen, but you can't find it in Kindle. You can only find it in physical. I prefer physical, but yes, I'm rambling.
Yeah. Are you quite finished?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. I am still reading my little fantasy book. The last one, I'm kind of dragging my feet. I'm not sure why I'm dragging my feet. I need to finish it so I can start other things.
Well, you had that Arthurian book then.
That Laura lent us. I need to get started on that. I'm just dragging my feet on this other one. I don't know if it's because I don't like what I think is going to happen next. I like the book. I just don't know.
I do have that happen. If I have a feeling something really bad is going to happen to the character, I'll be like, I don't want to read this part.
Yeah.
I don't do that as much for my history books. I do it a lot more for my fantasy books, and I'll put it away and I'll be like, I'll come back to that later.
Yeah.
because the ending will change if I put it away.
I can do it tomorrow. Yes. So anyway, I hope to finish that. I'm about halfway through it, and I've read the other two books much quicker. But yeah, I'm just kind of, and I have a trilogy that I want to read too. After this, as well as the trilogy that you gave me from Laura. So I have things to read if I just get through this. Okay, I did write to the shared story. I actually got quite a bit written yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Almost 500 words, which was nice to actually move forward. And I actually dumped some material that was kind of holding me back in ways that I don't really want to go into, but I dumped it and I feel a lot freer to work other things now. I think that's all I have for obsessions and autobiography. I do have a couple of shout-outs, though, or one shout-out. For Pettis Kim Knits, who is Kim from the Crafty Nomad podcast group. I've been watching her, actually I've been catching up with her. I stopped watching for a little while because I got behind. But I've been kind of binge watching her. The minute something comes out, I watch it. And if you don't, she's one of our group members. And if you don't watch her, you ought to check her out because she's very talented. She knits, she crochets, she sews. She does, I think, some kind of multimedia kind of thing. She's just into everything. She just has her hands into everything, and she's so enthusiastic. She's a pistol. She's from I think she said she's in Southern LA, and so she was talking today. The podcast I was watching today about an area in LA that I guess I kind of think of like the New York Garment District, but not necessarily just garments. And one section is like, sewing stuff, and one is like flowers, and one section is this and that, and people go there, bridal stuff and all that kind of stuff. And she can go there and get stuff like fabric or beading or whatever she needs to do. So it's really interesting, and she's just fun to watch. She's really fun to watch, and I learn a lot when I watch her. And she's, if you don't watch her, she is the Crafty Nomad podcast, and you might want to give her a check out if you're looking for a new podcast to watch. I also want to thank DFlyB, who is Brittany from the Sip and Stitch podcast. She gave us a very nice shout out on her podcast, and we really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we want to welcome her again because she's a newcomer for us.
Yes.
So that's awesome. Please keep in mind that Autism Awareness starts in about 2.5 weeks.
Start thinking of your bright colored
projects, and I will probably open a thread for that around the 23rd of March. That's when I did it last year. So you guys can see the rules and that kind of thing. Keep in mind, we do put a list of potential patterns on there. That does not mean you have to do them. Okay? You can do whatever patterns you want, as long as they're bright colored. And, we look forward to, this is always a big one for us, and we look forward to that.
Check out 10 Hours or Less, George's pattern for a couple years back. What was it called?
He's done two. He's done the Braided Bright.
That's right.
He's done the Braided Bright and the, I can't remember the other one. It's the one from last year. I always forgot the name of it. It will be in the thread.
Yes, he had two different patterns that he designed for Autism Awareness. I don't know if the other one was called Autism Awareness. Or
no, it was called something, I forget what it was called. It's really a nice pattern.
Yeah. So check it out. He does have patterns that he has designed.
Right, and we usually do his Autism Awareness patterns. We usually give those featured pattern status in Autism Awareness for the finished objects.
So go ahead and check out George's patterns for Autism Awareness.
Because he's always been so very
supportive
of us in that way. So, yeah, okay, I guess that's about it. Do you have something else you want to say?
I do not believe so.
Okay, we want to wish you all a very, well, first of all, I want to thank you for spending this time with us, and we wish you a very happy week filled with crocheting, knitting, crafting, whatever it is that really makes you happy.
My tea is all done.
Mine too. We hope to see you next week. In the meantime, we wish you every good thing. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 197, and that's a wrap.